This clip is from the Boundary Riders podcast, and if you do enjoy this, then make sure to check out the full episode out every single Wednesday morning on YouTube and Spotify. Let's talk about Jason Horne-Francis because, oh God, what a weekend it's been. So, of course, started on the weekend when he's playing his old side in North Melbourne. There's a couple of issues throughout the game when he was going up against a lot of the North Melbourne players, a lot of argy-bargy, a lot of talk back, a lot of, pushing and shoving. He gave away a 50-minute penalty. His butt buddy, essentially, Kane Corns, came out on the weekend and was like, don't pick on him. And everyone, and David King on his old team, so he's really unbiased, is like, he should grow up. So we've got both great sides of it. I mean, you could ask the most biased people on either side to fucking have the argument of this story. So we thought we'd come to another biased party in you as a Port Adelaide supporter. Do you think that Jason Horne-Francis needs to pull his head in, or do you think that he has every right to do what he did, that he's a winner?
I think that he needed to control his anger. He's a great player, as we've seen in the last month of football.
Yeah.
How good he can be. We saw the worst of it at the start of the season, when he's in a form slump.
Yeah.
And I think we saw the worst of that last week against North Melbourne. That when he is in his head, he doesn't really think of team first. It gets to his head, and then he loses the plot, and he gives away a 50, and we're wondering, why is this player not reaching the levels of a Nick Dacos in the same draft? That's what, someone like Nick Dacos will probably win the Brownlow this year. If not this year, he'll win multiple.
I heard that Patrick Cripps has polled 24 votes so far in the first 7 rounds. So
yeah,
I feel like he's pretty close. But I mean, I feel like Nick Dacos could get, they'll be competing around that point. Yeah. But I understand where you're coming from. I feel like this is the biggest serving of fucking media bullshit, or whatever you want to say. I feel like the media are just pushing this absolute fucking bullshit story to find something this week. I think there is absolutely nothing to say. I'm probably on the side of this is ridiculous. That this is even a story. I think that Jason Horne-Francis can be a bit of an angry player at times, and I think sometimes when he finds that level that he has before the North Melbourne game, that's when he's at his best. When he's got that anger for the football. When he is, playing as that bullish player, that's the best he is. Yeah. When he hits that, if you look at a temperature gauge, you want him in that, middle period. If he's too cool, he's not going to do anything. If he's too hot, he's going to be fucking giving away free kicks and 50-metre penalties. He was really cold in round 1 against Collingwood. You didn't really notice him. Then in round 2 against Richmond, he was way too hot. And then he kind of came into his season. He's kind of been at that middle point. And he was kind of in that point for a lot of the game against North Melbourne. He was pretty good. But then he did have those kind of points when he was like pushing a boiling point where it's like he's getting too hot here, too hot-headed. And I think Ken Hinkley kind of brought him back, which I thought was good. I lean on the side of the Kane Corns point that he was just having a conversation and Jason Horne-Francis thought it was over. That's why he walked away. I don't think he was walking away and it's a droppable offence. I don't think that's what happened.
I think people who think that are idiots. Yeah. That was a droppable offence. Come on. I
don't know why Matthew Lloyd's trying to be the new Kane Corns or something on Channel 9. It feels like they said, all right, we've lost Kane. Matthew, you have to do that now.
Yeah, it's like, it was they had the leadership group there. They had the two the vice and captain there. And the coach trying to calm him down. He thought it was over. If it wasn't okay,
it's a droppable offence that he didn't even walk away. He went one step, and we're like, oh, that's a droppable offence. Yeah, it's like, come on.
Get a grip. And it's, in a way, at the moment, it's sort of like how Harley Reid is going at the moment as well, in a way. In that moment, that's what Jason Horne-Francis did. And he went over the top. He knew, and Ken Hinkley brought him back down to earth, in a way. Harley Reid's at that point at the moment. He's still probably a bit too hot, but he's having those moments that you can see why he is that player, the number 1 pick, and that's why I think Jason Horne-Francis maybe went a bit too far last week in that game. But this week against the the Bulldogs, you might see him at his best.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, if he is at his best as well, we've seen already in his career that he has been able to drag his team over the line, Port Adelaide, in games. Like, I still remember, I think it was his first game for Port Adelaide against the Sydney Swans. We were dominating for a lot of the game. And in the second half, he went forward and took the game from Sydney. I remember that. And he's done it already multiple times in a career that hasn't even hit 50 games, I don't think. Yeah. Or it will be just around 50 games. So, yeah, overall, I think it's a huge overreaction and huge bloody bullshit sandwich, I would say. But I do think there is a period where he does go a bit too hot. But some of the best players play very well when they're at that point. Yeah. So I think that overall, I'd like him in my team. I think most people would, and I think North Melbourne would as well.
I think that's also a thing. The fact is that, that North Melbourne knew that if they could get him past that point of angry, we might be able to turn the result. And North Melbourne could have won that game.
Yeah.
So North Melbourne knew that. So you can probably give a bit of kudos to them, but they couldn't take their opportunities from the extra 4 players they had on the field and the umpires.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, we're all done with that. Jason Horne-Francis is the best. Yeah, well, I would drop him at this point.
He's dropped. He'll never be a captain or a vice captain. What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, he's so fucking useless. Droppable offence, I think.